We're so excited to be here today to talk about a topic that has been high on a lot of business owners' priority list and getting more information about. People have been reaching out to us and asking us, what does this mean for them as business owners? So today's webinar is really to give you more information about what to expect from the Corporate Transparency Act, what this means for you as a business owner, what are the requirements that you need to uphold, and how we can be of assistance to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So here's just a table of contents. We're going to tell you a little bit about the Curry Law Firm. What is the CTA? How does it apply to you? What are the requirements and what are the penalties and how can we help you? So, the Curry Law Firm, we are the leader in business, real estate, and estate planning services throughout the greater Houston area. Our firm was founded by attorney Eleanor Curry, who has both her MBA and JD. She has over 20 years in real estate experience and over 10 years in legal experience as an attorney. So, what is the Corporate Transparency Act? Well, in 2021, Congress passed the Corporate Transparency Act on a bipartisan basis. That means that both Democrats and Republicans voted to approve this act to go into effect. This law creates a new ownership information reporting requirement as part of the U.S. government's efforts to make it harder for bad faith actors to benefit from gains or help that were meant for businesses. So if you look at this time, 2021, this was right after COVID happened in 2020, and those COVID relief checks went out, and people were fraudulently saying that they were business owners or had businesses or had been in business just to get the check. And so, really, this act, although it does provide another job or requirement on business owners, is really meant to protect business owners so that if anything like that happens again, that they can make sure that the money is really going to true business owners and not those just posing to be business owners or posing to have a business that didn't really exist, taking away money from people who are actually running businesses. So who does this apply to? So companies are required to report on this act if number one, you are what's called domestic reporting company. And so they define a domestic reporting company as corporations, LLCs, and any other entities created by the filing of a document with a Secretary of State or any similar office in the United States. So, what that means is that if you're just a sole proprietor, that means that you haven't filed any sort of formation document with the Secretary of State's office, then you're not required to file. However, if you have filed an LLC, a corporation, a partnership, any other type of business entity that's actually formed with the Secretary of State, wherever it is that you're located, then you are viewed as what's called a domestic reporting company. And it does give the information for those that are foreign reporting companies, but the majority of our clientele are going to be domestic reporting. So that's just what I'm going to focus on today. I did go ahead and upload this chart directly from the government website that actually gives information and guidance on the CTA, and that's called FinCEN. So it's FINCEN. And that's the government website where you can go and find more information on these items. So, what information will businesses have to report? Number one, you'll have to report the actual legal name of your company. So, pretty straightforward. Number two, any trade names or DBAs that your business has. And for some people, they may have actually filed those DBAs, those doing business as, or fictitious business names, as some states refer to them, or trading names, as other states refer to them. You'll need to outline all of those that you have for your business. Number three, the current address of your principal place of business. Number four, the jurisdiction or formation for the formation of your business. So by jurisdiction, they mean like the state that you're in. So if you're in the state of California or Texas, they want to know that. Number five is your taxpayer identification number. This is also your EIN. This is the number that you get from the IRS, and that's like your business's social security number. So your employer identification number, taxpayer ID, EIN, all the same thing, right? That's the number that they want. It comes on that document from the IRS. And finally, a reporting company will also have to indicate whether it is filing an initial report, so as your first time report, or if you are filing a correction or an update of a prior report. So if you need to go and correct something, they need to know whether this is the first time you're submitting it or a subsequent time. For each individual who is a beneficial owner, a reporting company will also have to provide these 4 items. So if your business has 3 owners, then you need to provide all of these items for all 3 owners. If you just have one owner, then you provide these for the owner. Number one, that's going to be the individual's name. So John Smith, date of birth, January 1st, 1969. An identifying number from an acceptable identification document. So most people have a driver's license document or a state ID card, and it has the state ID on there. They want that number, and then they also want a picture of whatever type of document you're using. So if it's a passport, a driver's license, whatever the case it may be, they want to see the picture of it and have that ID number showing and a picture of you, so that it matches. And then the residential address. Filing deadlines. If your company was created or registered prior to January 1, 2024, you will have a full year to submit this filing. So you have all the way until January 1, 2025 to report this business information. If your company is created or registered on or after January 1st, 2024, then you have 90 days from the date of your registration. So not from the date that you file, but from the date that the Secretary of State has actually approved your business as ready to operate. Any updates or corrections to beneficial ownership information that you previously filed must be submitted within 30 days. So if your business changes the owners, right? They went from 3 owners to 2 owners, then you need to submit that. As well as if any major changes such as physical address of your business or the EIN changes, you need to submit that information within 30 days. Um, People were asking, can they start submitting these documents before January 1 of 2024? And the answer is no. They're not accepting the filings before then. And so you see this name FinCEN once again, that is the governing agency that is actually handling these filings. That's where you can find more information. That is where you're going to go to actually submit the filings and create the accounts. Now, on the previous slide, I did talk about types of information that you would have to submit to them, such as, your name, your addresses, the business name, things like that. And so there has been some talk because this is a government agency. Will this be public record? And so far they are saying that yes, some of the information you are submitting will be available to people who requested, but it's not anything where you could just go to their website and just download the information. You would actually have to submit a form requesting that information. And it honestly is a little no different than what you're submitting to the Secretary of State when you do file your business, because you'll have to provide name and address um, for the owners of your business as well as for your business. I would imagine that they would safeguard certain information such as like your ID number or a picture of your passport, that they probably won't give those because those are considered to be proprietary information, so information that would be considered secret from the general public. So what happens if you don't file this BOI? You're like, you know what? As a business owner, I already have to do an annual filing with my state. I already have to pay state taxes. I need to pay taxes to the IRS for my business and myself. Now you want me to do something else? No, forget it. I'm not doing this. So they say that if you do not file this document by the deadline that they've given, that you could face civil and criminal penalties. So although it is another requirement, the easiest thing to do is just go ahead and give the information that they're requesting. Once again, if your business was filed before January 1 of 2024, So if you are a business owner now, right, and have been before the new year, then you have a full year to provide that information. And then if you file your business after January 1, you'll have 90 days. Now, say that you had no idea that this requirement actually existed. They are saying that you will have a 90-day extension period after the deadline passes to provide that original report. And if you don't provide it after that 90-day extension period, then the penalization can start. So if you're a new business and you started January 1, 2024 or after, you have 90 days to submit. After that first 90 days expires, then you have an additional 90-day extension period. If you are a business that was currently in place now or before January 1 of 2024, you have until January 1 of 2025. You'll then have 90 days after that ends to get that filing in before being penalized. All right. And so basically that is the gist of what this new filing requirement is about. There is further detail, about it if you're needing some. We'll go ahead and to everyone who registered for the webinar, we're going to send out the link to a small business checklist that FinCEN actually put together so that you can start to go through that now for your business and figure out some of the items that you'll need to get together so that by January 1, 2024, you already knowing, what to expect and can start to put this information together to get that filing in on time. However, if you're like, hey, you know what, I already have enough on my plate and you like us to handle the filing for you, I'm sorry, we are going to start adding these services to our service list. So we will be filing the BOIs to FinCEN on report on behalf of your business. I'm sorry, if needed. You can contact our business by phone, and the phone number is here 713-574-2070. Or you can send us an email, or you can go to our website and fill out the contact form. And in the information section, you can go ahead and provide the type of service you're interested in and wanting to learn more about. I'll go ahead and open it up for questions now if anyone has questions.